Yu-Gi-Oh's saltiest player. Let's watch.
The year was 2015.
Wow.
Jeremy punched
Well,
a
hold on.
producer.
That was 10 years ago. I don't like how that was 10 years ago.
A bald guy went around punching everybody. I wanted to punch whoever created this picture. And this video's protagonist, Tenki, was about to attend a local Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. Now this tournament was set right in the middle of Necros format, where basically
I still don't know what these cards do.
to an event that wasn't Necros was like bringing a Prius to a race in Formula 1. But despite this, Tenki had other plans, as he wasn't really much of a meta slave, and just liked playing whatever decks he happened to be enjoying at the time, which in this case meant he was bringing Yang Zing to this event.
Can you imagine, like, actually playing something that you enjoy instead of the meta? That's based.
Know much about this art type, Tenki describes it as a deck known for lots of floating effects and making synchros with goofy protections. Or if I quickly run that through a translator...
Deck known for lots of floating effects and making synchros with goofy protections. Where are you translating it to? Oh.
It's safe to say, he wasn't exactly expecting any results from this event. Our story begins at round 4 of the event, and the final round of the tournament. Up until this point, Tenki performed basically how you'd expect a Yang Zing deck to perform. He managed to take one match, but unfortunately, lost the other two. At this point, despite
the League of
top,
Legends defeat,
he was just playing out the final round for a bit of fun, to see if he could at least break even, and for a little bit of extra incentive, his friends told him that if he won his final game,
what are these
he would come
images?
with them to Nationals during the following week. Tenki sat down at his table and briefly sifted through his cards as he waited for his opponent. A few moments pass and Tenki hears someone sit down in the chair across from him. So he placed his cards down and raised his head to greet them. But as the words were about to come out of his mouth, he hesitated. The man sitting across from him was a very shady character.
Oh no.
Probably about 3 times his age, who had built up a bit of a negative reputation in the area. He was known for getting involved with stuff that wasn't very legal.
Oh, okay. I thought this guy was like the heel. Like that was like a like like an asshole in the region, right? The one that is like talking trash to others. Not that it wasn't, you know, actual legal trouble.
Hanging out with some very dodgy individuals. Most notably, people that were in the business of, well, Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah,
so
Breaking Bad, of course.
after trying his best to give a greeting, both players got ready to begin their match. His opponent was playing Light Swan, an R-type known for essentially dumping large portions of its deck straight to the graveyard, in order to use various different effects from the graveyard. Now, although this deck was also not considered top tier, it was certainly a large upgrade over playing Yang Zing, and this quickly became quite apparent during their match, with Tenki getting absolutely dominated with Light Swan monsters and effects. Thankfully though, Yang Zing did have one decent quality about them: their ability to float. What this term basically means for non-Yu-Gi-Oh players is whenever one of their monsters is destroyed, it would simply be able to float into, or basically just summon, another monster straight from the deck to replace it.
Okay.
So although Tenki was getting absolutely pounded, he did manage at the very least to keep some resources on the field to use during his turn. Using what little he had, Tenki managed to summon Yahtzee, Evil of the Yang Zing. Now this card by itself wasn't exactly very impressive, as the only thing of note on this card was that it was immune to being targeted by his opponent's card effects. But because this card was summoned using the Light, Water, Wind, and Earth Yang Zing, it was granted a bunch of extra protections from those cards. Yahtzee was immune to targeting, spell and trap effects, and could not be destroyed by battle.
Okay.
Keep this in mind. Tenki began explaining to his opponent...
Okay, hold on.
granted a bunch of extra protections from those cards. Yahtzee was immune to targeting, spell and trap effects, and could not be destroyed by battle.
But it can be destroyed by monster effects, right? Monster effects that don't target then. That is the only way, and I guess a kaiju. Something to tribute it, I guess. It means it replaces itself when it dies, like Cyber Dragon Nova. Okay, perfect.
This in mind. Tenki began explaining to his opponent exactly what he had just summoned and what its immunities were. But the more he spoke, the more his opponent's emotions started changing to look
Dude, I wish there was a
more
video of
visibly
this.
irritated. Once he was done explaining, Tenki simply just passed the turn. His opponent drew a card for turn, and then immediately without skipping a beat, just slammed his deck's boss monster straight onto the field. Judgment Dragon. Tenki's heart sank a little, as Judgment Dragon was the perfect out to his boss monster. Judgment Dragon's effect is a non-once per turn effect that allows you to pay 1,000 life points to destroy all other cards on the field. And remember, all Yahtzee is immune to was targeting,
so it doesn't target
effects, and being destroyed by
battle.
This was a non-targeting destruction effect, which meant it completely bypassed all of that. Tenki was completely screwed. Your turn.
What is it? Huh? Oh, I'm not ready for this.
Did he just say, your turn? Tenki looked up to see his opponent now with an incredibly screwed up face, muttering a bunch of words under his breath.
What happened?
Something about, this card's broken or bullshit.
Oh, he didn't know!
Will get this video demonetized if I repeated them. Turns out he had not listened to what Tenki had said at all and had no idea.
Oh my god, no! This is even worse than not reading. This is even worse than not reading. It's not listening. No way! No way. What did it's probably a combination of both, right? Not listening to your opponent and not reading your own card. There is no way. Oh my god. Oh, Jasmine is not even once per turn? You just pay life points. Interesting. No. Yeah, because if this was in Master Duel, you will see something, right? He forgot. Oh no. Yeah. Oh, this is so real.
Could have simply deleted his boss. Now, there was just one small problem. Yahtzee only had 2,600 attack, and Judgment Dragon had 3,000. So although his opponent had passed, there was absolutely no way for Tenki to remove the boss monster. All he could do was simply pass the turn back again and pray. His opponent draws for turn, and once again, reluctantly to Tenki's complete surprise, moved straight to the end phase. Now remember how I said Light Swan liked to send cards from deck to grave? Well, Judgment Dragon was no different. During each end phase, Judgment Dragon also sends the top 4 cards of your deck to the graveyard, which is normally a good thing. But in this case, was absolutely about to backfire.
Wait, is it required? Must be special summon from your hand having destroyed also. End phase, send 4 cards. Yeah, it's required. Once per turn during your end phase, send the top 4 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Is this person gonna get decked out?
Your deck to the graveyard, which is normally a good thing. But in this case, was absolutely about to backfire.
No.
This continuous passing back and forth continued for another 3 turn cycles, each time his opponent having to dump more and more of his deck to the graveyard. At this point, being one of the very few games remaining of the day, this duel actually garnered quite a crowd, all of which standing in complete silence, with various different expressions on their faces. Some confused, some looking like they're about to burst out laughing, and all of which Tenki was begging in his head to please not give away
please don't say anything.
His opponent was being. A few more turns go by, and his opponent is just looking like he's about ready to break the table in half, with the mumbling under his breath now becoming much more loud and clear, and filled with quite a few complaints of stalling, and some rather nasty language. Eventually, the Judgment Dragon deletes the remaining cards of the deck, which in Yu-Gi-Oh! If you have no cards left in deck and are unable to draw, you simply just lose the game.
That
Tenki
is so
had
sad.
won the match.
That is so stupid.
His opponent stood up and roughly nudged his chair to the side. This is bullshit. before waddling over to his buddies, who were standing nearby watching the game.
The buddies, no?
Tenki could hear his opponent was loudly venting about how busted and unfair Yang Xing was, and how he was cheated out of that win. And that's when he heard it. Bro, you had the out on the field. That card wasn't even immune to destruction effects. At this moment, Tenki watched his opponent's face slowly lit up a colour that would even make Rudolph jealous, as all of his friends began laughing around him.
Oh, poor guy.
Then he turned directly towards Tenki, giving him one hell of an obvious death glare. Shit. Tenki quickly got up and got the hell out of the store. A week went by and Tenki, as promised, went to nationals with his friends, which also meant skipping locals that week. For those curious, he got completely shit on going 2-8 or something,
Whoa.
But he did get to eat a bucket of M&Ms, so overall, a pretty good time. But whilst at nationals, he received a phone call.
I'm scared. What is this?
Hi, is this Tenki? It was the owner of the local card shop. Yeah, that shady guy is back again, and it looks like he brought a few not so nice looking individuals, and he's asking about what time you normally arrive.
That's so
Maybe
scary,
skip
dude.
out on locals this week. Turns out his opponent got so butthurt from the previous duel that he gathered a large group of guys to come and teach him a lesson.
What?
Yeah. Tenki decided it was best to maybe take a bit of an extended break from locals for a while. And that is going to mark the end of today's
That's
tale.
the end of the story?
For those wondering, Tenki did eventually return to
That's the end?
locals a few months later and never had any issues again. Thank you so much, Tenki, for sharing your story in the comment section of one of my previous videos. And as per usual, if you too have a story or tale from your time playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And would like to have it recreated in this series, feel free to write it down in the comments down below. Just make sure to leave enough context and detail
okay, I get it,
so
I
I can
get it.
turn it into a full video. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. And if you'd like to see more stories just like this one, I've created a full playlist of this series, which I'll leave at the top of the description, or you can click that little card on screen now. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Laters.
Oh, I understand. So this, okay. So this series is like reading like Reddit threads or like green text stories. Okay. Now I understand why there is no video. Okay, got it. That was a cool story, really hype. That was so funny though. Like that's why you have to pay attention to it. This is actually words and not reading. Holy. That is actually. We're love blaming the opponent for your own skill issue. It is true. It's his own fault. And then like what? Blaming the other person? Teaching them a lesson? That's messed up. Don't do that, chat. That's cringe. That's so cringe. Before gore. There's a story, I think, where it was speculated a guy ate a kid's labyrinth card. What? Alright, we're gonna have to watch that next. Alright, thank you.